Today is Wednesday, November 27th, 2019. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Island of the Idols, Week 10.
Quite possibly the best title we've ever had in the history of the game.
Bring on the bacon.
Bring on the bacon.
Is that because you love bacon?
I love me some bacon.
So much. Yes, he does.
I do. And I just read an article where someone tested 10 different ways to cook it. And they pretty much said the best way to cook it is the way we cook it in the oven. They were using parchment paper. We use tin foil.
Yeah.
But it's probably roughly the same. And they were cooking at 400. We do 425, I think. So, but that is the way to cook bacon.
Well, since we started doing it, we've not cooked it any other way.
Well, every once in a while, we'll do the microwave quickie thing.
Well, only for a piece or two if I just want a taste. But
welcome to Discussing Bacon.
Yeah.
This will be our recap of how to cook bacon. No. This is we do the recap right after the episode airs, and then we do a listener feedback show on Saturdays where we hand it over to the other super fans to comment and make predictions. So, do we have any announcements or anything we need to do? Can we jump right in the recap?
Let's go.
All right. We're night 27. We're back at the LumuWaku camp, and Lauren tells us that she can't be too comfortable. She's been very worried about Tommy.
Yep, she's afraid they're going to blindside him.
Mm-hmm. Certainly some cause for concern, but it turns out she ends up having a rush of calm, she tells us, when he returns, when she sees his big lanky body coming down the trail.
It's like, woohoo, Tommy's okay. And Elaine starts telling the story about how, Missy was telling Karishma what to do, and Karishma got a little sassy there. It's like, don't tell me what to do.
She's celebrating her newfound freedom.
As well she should.
Being out from under Missy's thumb, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess she said, what was it she said? Missy was trying to tell Karishma how to convince Elaine to vote for Tommy?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yep, Karishma is indeed thrilled that she has options now.
Well, and even Elizabeth said, well, it needed to happen, so it happened.
Yeah, but before that, she was like, today sucked for me. My closest allies are gone. But yeah, she covered it with that last part, which was good. That needed to happen.
And she tells us she's going to do whatever she has to stay. Now, I did not, stupidly of course, choose Elizabeth to go home this week because I thought that's too easy.
We're like
that's
three,
too easy.
Almost 4 minutes in.
Nothing
you're
has
just
been
to the end.
Predictable. And so I'm not going to be predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb.
Bold. That's bold play there, Cotton.
I agree. It's your kind of bold.
No, that's not my kind of bold. I didn't go that route.
It was dumb. It was a dumb bold. But you never know. It could have paid out. I thought, why be predictable? They haven't been all season.
Let's get back to the recap.
Okay, go back to the recap.
Instead of the perils of Joanne's picks. Elaine's trying to console Elizabeth a little bit and tells her, this just frees you up. You've got more maneuverability now. You think she's buying it?
Nah.
Day 28. Tommy's happy. He said this is big for him.
Well, for his resume. It's the first time I'd heard him chat about his resume, but he's keeping an eye on that for sure. And Dean tells us he wants Karishma out because she's a goat and she just keeps hanging in there. And that makes him nervous.
Yep. Of course, Dean just described himself.
He does not see himself as a goat. That's the irony of it. But Lauren tells us she wants Elizabeth out because she knows she can't beat Elizabeth.
And the challenges, yeah.
But then Tommy and Dean tell Elizabeth she's okay. It's like, okay, I'd be nervous then if there's oh no, you're okay.
Got to get rid of those goats. Mm-hmm. Dean tells us that goat number 1 is Karishma, goat number 2 is Noura, and he conveniently did not include himself or Dan. Of course, he doesn't have the benefit of our perspective.
And Tommy brings up the fact that Elizabeth targeted him, so he needs to get her out first.
Yep, good enough reason right there. Time for Island of the Idols to return. What'd you think?
Here come the boat. I don't know. Karishma and her, well, I wanted to, but I thought, well, then speak up. You've learned to speak up, speak up.
Yeah, but I think she probably made the right choice because there was a second part to what she said. She wanted to go, but she knew it could cause her grief, so she just ended up stepping back.
Well, but she seemed a little put out that Lauren was going.
Lauren said it before she did.
Exactly. Yeah. So, hello.
To your point, right? There's your example.
Yep.
Yeah. This is Lauren, the one who said she absolutely did not want to go before.
Well, she does now.
It's all a matter of timing. Yep.
Sandra and the chicken. It bit me. I don't think chickens bite, do they?
Well, they peck. Yeah.
But
I fully expected her to be cooking that chicken right after that. So I'm a little disappointed in how that scene went down.
Okay, into the cooking pot you go.
Right.
That must have been their pet chicken, so she'll forgive it.
Maybe.
She is an animal person. So Rob just laughs at her, of course. And Lauren shows up to Island of the Idols, and she is so excited, runs straight to Sandra, gives her a great big old hug, and then hugs Rob.
Then a backup hug for Rob, yeah.
Backup hug for Rob, but obviously a Sandra fan.
You're the reason people play. So that was nice. I think that was one of the best tributes they've gotten after she finally stopped saying OMG over and over again.
That's true. Lauren tells them she's doing okay in the game. She has pretty good strategy, but she's not very physically strong.
Right. She said her social skills were on point, though, and that seems to be the case from the little bit that we've been given on her. What did you think about this test? Predict who's going to win the next challenge.
I guess it was better than the last couple, maybe. But, yeah, I guess it was okay. As much as those things are okay or not. But it didn't take long for Rob to offer up more.
It doesn't seem like it, right?
Yeah.
The way at least the way the edit ends up going.
They've been accelerating it though, so
if you're like me and you're sort of a slow, methodical thinker of things, that would be to your benefit in this scenario.
Yes, it would.
Because he immediately seems to, the way the edit works, he seems to think, oh, well, they're not going to do it. So
yeah, I bet we'll find out though that she was pausing for quite a while before he offered it.
Maybe, yeah.
But the edit did not make it look that way.
Right, so he sweetens the deal. Okay, we'll let you have two possible choices for who's going to win. You got to predict who's going to win the next immunity challenge, and we'll tell you what it is.
Now, see, I thought they were going to target Tommy this week, and I chose Tommy to win the challenge.
That's pretty innovative.
Saw this stupid twist coming. I'm just sharing.
Yeah. So okay. Island of the Idols really messed up. Your JSFL game. That just ain't right.
That's why I thought they'd go after Dean, because they couldn't go after Tommy.
Well,
and nobody even mentioned it.
Yeah. I like the computer eat twist, so that was good.
Yeah. Well, was it good to give her that much detail? Because Jeff seemed surprised.
But he's not surprised. But he says he reviews the footage every day and has meetings every day with the producers who were there with them while they're filming these things, where they give him the lowdown. So, I mean,
he might have missed it. You never know.
No.
Anyway, I was surprised they gave him that much detail, but it really played to her advantage to have that much detail.
What did you think of her rundown of each person there, at least the ones we got to hear? Where she's giving her assessment of them, how they're going to do.
Well, I thought she was right on with Dean. He doesn't seem to have a lot of endurance.
Right. I guess the real question with him is there some slight outside chance that he's throwing challenges? Doesn't seem like it, given some of the other things he said about how hard he was competing. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Dan totally thinks he's safe, and he's hungry. So
Right.
she thought he wouldn't. And she didn't think Janet would do the challenge. I thought, oh, she's wrong about that. I expect Janet to do the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought she called that wrong. And whether Karishma did the challenge or not was irrelevant. She wasn't going to win, was basically her point.
Yeah, so
she called him pretty good.
Yeah,
I only
Karishma
thought
can't
she
focus.
was off on. And of course, I thought she was right on with Noura and Elizabeth.
That she wouldn't even be tempted because she was vegan.
But like I said, I thought Tommy could beat either one of those girls, and he probably could have if he didn't have all that inside information.
Uh-huh.
So it did mess with things.
Yep, so she had a strategic pause that appeared, and Boston Rob sweetened the deal. Okay, you get two people. If either one of those two win, then you'll get an immunity idol good for the next two tribal councils.
All right, so day 28.
And she ends up picking Noura and Elizabeth for the win.
Oh, yeah.
And they tell her the idol's going to be under a big rocket tree mail if you end up winning, getting it right. Okay?
So we flash on Dean with Dan and Janet, and he tells them that he's going to play the legacy advantage anyway. But he thinks it's real.
Yeah, Janet says it's not, right?
Yeah, she didn't think it was real.
But he tells him,
And
I'm just
so-
going to get this thing out of the way.
But if it were,
But
we know it's fake.
he's got a secret plan, though. What did you think of this?
I thought that was very innovative of Dean.
Yeah, that was creative.
And I thought if he really believed that it is real, and it makes it more exciting for us for when he finds out that it isn't.
Yeah.
So cool. You set yourself up in a little excitement for us. But it is a good move on his part in case it's real. So I got to give him that one.
Yeah, he gets that target off his back.
Yes, absolutely. So, and they all didn't seem to notice that it was a fake. And so I think he thinks he got one over on everybody.
And he had clearly saved or knew where some materials were.
Yep.
So he could make a replacement fake.
Absolutely. And then Lauren returns from Island of the Idols.
I like Elizabeth called out and said, do the queen wave. And so she did that little thing with her hand.
Yeah.
The beauty queen thing.
So she proceeds to convince the tribe to eat at the next
I love how
challenge.
she twisted that. I don't know if they gave her
Yeah.
that or if she came up with that, but either way, that was awesome. I was able to make it a compete or eat.
Oh.
So saying that was on her, that opportunity, you know, she gets to be the hero to bring food potentially in.
That she
It's up to them
chose
to
the
decide.
compete or eat.
Yeah, but she was able to get that for the
So
ones that were hungry.
I want all of you to eat except for the ones I don't want to. So, of course, they get to choose. But boy, I was right about Janet that she that goes against who she is about competing, but they were just taunting her to have Tommy on board with Lauren and them just going on and on about it all day. I don't know how anybody resisted after and pancakes and bacon.
Well, she had Noura dialed in, and certainly she fulfilled that, confirmed
Yep.
her assessment of her. So
Bacon wouldn't tempt Noura at
Right.
all. So, and Karishma and Elizabeth both knew that they could go home. So I wasn't surprised at those two at all.
I liked when they were sitting there talking. Tommy said, "It's all carbs," and Lauren said, "Bacon is not a carb."
That's true.
Yeah,
But I also like that, Noura was willing to do this challenge too, I think, in part
Redemption.
to make up
Yeah.
for her dropping out too fast and forgetting about the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yep.
So she's got something to prove to her
Uh-huh.
tribe.
She can
So-
redeem
So-
herself a little bit.
Yep,
And
and
Lauren-
Lauren was like, yes.
Lauren tells us in a quick confessional before they go to the immunity challenge, bring on the bacon. So we got our title right there. All right, day 30. So we just completely skipped over day 29.
Yep.
Some unimportant things happened, and we're on to the immunity challenge. And Probst, like you had alluded to before, is stunned. What? No reaction to my offering of pancakes and bacon and breakfast goodies? Then he chastises Lauren for stealing his thunder.
So, as expected, everyone except Karishma, Noura, and Elizabeth chooses to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice that Noura tried to extend that time. And Jeff said, no, it doesn't work that way.
She even got him a little bit extra because she refused to acknowledge him.
She wouldn't
They
drop.
got a few more bites in, I'm sure.
Jeff's
Yeah,
like,
so
all right, just stuff it in your mouth.
Almost immediately. She could take Crystal's
No,
throne.
she wasn't that fast. Crystal was like 2 or 3 seconds.
Well, in that one challenge, but overall, Crystal from Gabon was horrible in challenges, and I think Karishma may be worse overall.
No.
Overall. Okay, all right.
I just-
We'll see what other people think.
yeah, well.
And Karishma gets to have a little me moment there with Probst when she says that she can handle it and having to smell the food even though she's failed, and he tries to console her a little bit.
Hey, she was lucky Elaine even paused chewing for a second to say anything.
Okay.
But Elaine did. She was like, girl. But nobody else, I don't think, stopped chewing for a second to join in her pity party.
Yeah, well, why would you at this
No,
point?
you wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay, so Elizabeth, it just turns out she can't actually deliver on this challenge, and Noura ends up winning.
Now, here's the thing. Did Karishma go back to camp and tell them, oh, I only did that so you guys could eat that much longer?
I have a
was
feeling
trying to
if she had
delay
gone full
things.
Angelina on it,
Blah, blah.
that they would have shown that, because they're not going to they're not going to deny us an Angelina moment like that.
Okay. Well, she could have done that. She thought about it. Okay, so Janet tells us the scariest thing ever was not to eat, because now she's got to trust her alliance to keep her in the game, and then she starts thinking, maybe I need to vote out Elizabeth. I thought, well, who are you planning? Probably Karishma.
I like how, from Janet's perspective, the physical threat is Elizabeth.
Yeah.
It's not Tommy. It's not Dean. It's not Dan. It's Elizabeth.
Well, I
That
think
tells you
it's
what's different about this season, too. It's the women that have been the threats,
true.
with the exception of Aaron. He got viewed that way.
Well, they better start seeing Tommy as a threat, because he certainly is.
No, there's still plenty of goats to wade through.
Well, yep, that's true too. But
And besides, you don't have to worry about Tommy if you think you got a better game than him. Matter of fact, part of Lauren's story was that she carried him. Okay, back at camp there on day 30, Lauren and Tommy go get the immunity idol that is good for the next 2 tribal councils.
And Tommy tells us that got to get Elizabeth, because we can get Karishma any old time. I can beat her.
Mm-hmm.
But Elizabeth might not always beat Elizabeth.
Right?
She could go on a run and get herself to the end. So let's get her while the getting's good.
I think that's a pretty solid assessment.
Yep. Though Elaine would rather Karishma go, but she doesn't want to go against her alliance. So she tells Dan it's going to be Elizabeth.
What did you think of that exchange between Elizabeth and Noura before they went and stole Karishma's bag?
I honestly don't know what Nora's doing. I don't know who she thinks she's aligned with. I don't know how much power she thinks she has.
Yeah.
But she told
Takes you right-
Elizabeth she wasn't going anywhere. Now, is she just soothing Elizabeth and intending to vote her out anyway? Or does she really think she has the power to choose? I really don't know.
Well, it goes right back to the Boston Rob quote that she's in Nora's world. So
Nora's world, and I don't know what's going on with
right.
Nora.
Yeah, the rules are obviously different for how things work there.
I can't tell if
Up
Noura's
is down
faking
and down is right.
or she's not faking, or I can't read Noura.
Elizabeth said that she felt that she was floating, and of course she was upset she didn't win the challenge. I actually thought Elizabeth had a little better social game, but I'm watching this exchange between those two, and I end up thinking, wow, Elizabeth actually has nothing.
Well, Missy's been telling her what to do all along, I think.
It would seem to be
Missy
the case.
and Aaron were.
Would seem to be the case, and that Elaine's comment back at the beginning of the episode about how it frees her up to move in different directions, well, it's too late.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Now, were you surprised that Noura grabbed Karishma's bag?
Yeah, that was pretty bold in broad daylight.
Just told her to drink your water.
Yeah.
And sneaks her bag and boldly walks down there with it, and her and Elizabeth go through it and check to see if she's got anything.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see Karishma's reaction to that if she was watching tonight, because there's a good chance she didn't know.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she didn't know, because she would have had it fit.
Nora's already made it very clear she doesn't think a whole lot of Karishma in the context of the game. I'm not talking about on any kind of personal level, but just what she brings to the game and to camp, the overall piece of it. Nora's been very clear on her assessment of Karishma and the no added value. So I guess from that perspective, it shouldn't have been a surprise, but it was pretty bold.
Yeah. So, again.
And she convinces herself that there are no idols. Good job, Noura. You sent her to get it, and now you convinced yourself she doesn't have it.
And that Elizabeth doesn't have one either. Did she say... I thought she said she checked her bag, too.
She did say no idols, plural, I think. So maybe there was an
Elizabeth
allusion
let
to
her
that.
check her bag.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they went to check Karishma's. So
Dan tells Karishma to vote for Janet.
it's going to be a split vote. It's between Elizabeth and Janet.
I thought he was about to have a Dean moment there.
And instead of Elizabeth and Karishma. But then Karishma walks right over. I thought, why did you so boldly just walk over?
Well, they said she doesn't move very much in camp. So I guess if she's going to do something, she's going to do it right there.
Well, yeah, but that fact alone, that she just, at least it appeared that she went straight to her.
And we learned that Lauren can read lips. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know that
Or
we've
was
seen
she
that
just
skill deployed that often.
Or was she just telling Dan that to keep him from going over and butting in?
Could be.
She might have just been
Until
controlling
she decided
Dan.
the moment was right. And then
Dan.
She does
I can
send him.
read lips. I don't think she sent him.
Yeah, she did. She said, yes, go ask him, Dan.
Oh, well,
go now.
Okay. Well,
And he tried.
go, puppet boy. Well, and Karishma said, hey, me, you, and Janet and Elaine could vote together, which is kind of what I thought could happen, that would keep Elizabeth in.
See, I just couldn't see Janet doing anything with Elizabeth after what went down between them.
I think Janet would, if she thought that was the best
She's
move for her
very
game.
pragmatic, but still.
I think she would.
I don't think Janet forgets.
Well, nor should she forget, but it doesn't mean you can't work with them. If you're putting your emotion outside, then you put it outside and play the game.
That would be one of the
admirable.
greatest demonstrations of that ability we had ever seen. But we didn't get much else in the way of information on it, whatever the case was.
So,
And Dan and Dean and Janet have a quick talk, and they're just eager to get rid of Karishma. So this is the who's it going to be element that you need going into tribal council, so it's not an obvious slam dunk.
well, Karishma talked to Dan as though she really doesn't like him much.
Mm-hmm.
I felt she was kind of dismissive and talking down to him a little bit or something. I felt an attitude.
Well, I think that was because he came over and said, I heard my name. So he's basically being
calling her out,
accusatory. Yeah. So I think, if nothing
That's
else,
what
she would be
sparked it.
responding to that. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't read that other part in that you said.
And Karishma tells us she's got to decide whether she's going to play that idol or not, because she sure didn't want to go home with the idol in her pocket, and
Yep.
she would have.
I like her focus, which is wanting to play it correctly and make it count.
You thought she might play it for Elizabeth.
I did at one point. I thought,
And
well,
I
that
thought,
would be
well,
an
that would
odd
be
twist.
nuts.
She would have to know something. She'd have to be in the loop somehow, which we've really never seen her that be the case.
All right. Shall we go to tribal council?
Missy's all smiles there from the jury when she comes in. Aaron, not so much.
Nope. He stayed pretty stone-faced. And Jeff tells them that 6 ate at the challenge and 3 competed in the challenge.
Jeff's always going to rat on you at tribal council so the
Well,
jury knows what went down.
That's exactly right. That's why he bothers to do it. He's informing the jury.
Yep.
So Elizabeth said, well, I lost my main alliance, so I really wanted to get that immunity.
That's a very defeatist thing to open with.
Yeah.
So my alliance is over there, and she's basically saying, I don't have any plan B. So
Well, either knows it's her and she's given up, or she's still trying to say, I don't have any alliance, people. I'm a vote.
free agent.
What do you want?
Yeah. It didn't really sound like that.
No, it didn't come across that way.
Yeah.
And Karishma tells us, well, she really wanted to just challenge herself and that she's always at the bottom at tribal council. So
Seems to always be at risk when she shows up there.
that's right.
Yeah, she didn't finish that and she failed once again.
Yep.
Good job challenging yourself, but how many times are you going to do this before you figure out the answer?
So Noura tells us she feels she has a good footing in the game, so she wanted to just step up and let her tribe eat.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of Nora's world, but the other part was a little bit of, hey, I did this so the other folks could
Well, it's her resume for the jury.
eat. Yeah.
She's also informing the jury what she did for her tribe. So, and Karishma reminds everybody, hey, this is still an individual game, and your alliance could turn on you.
Yeah, and then she throws her slitting throats line in there, which certainly that would make you uncomfortable to have that imagery flash up.
And Dean announces that he's playing the legacy advantage that someone gave him. And I thought, do you think he did that so people wouldn't vote for him? Otherwise, why would he announce it at tribal council?
Sure, yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, if they know I'm going to play this, they won't write my name down and I won't accidentally,
But
even
he'd
if it's no
already
good,
been
go on.
freely saying that before.
Well, for the same reason, I think.
Yeah. Well, and it's part of his cover story if he thinks the other one's real, so.
Maybe his name was brought up, but they just didn't choose to show us.
Nobody falls for the bait. Everybody's saying, no, tribal's not easy. It's never easy, Jeff. There's always complications.
Yep, and Lauren tells us everybody has their own plan, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc., etc.
What'd you think of Tommy's analogy?
What did he say?
Oh, I can't even get my girlfriend to decide where to eat, much less get something going with 8 people. So, yeah, there's nothing easy
I
here.
think that was a good, solid saying something without saying anything.
Uh-huh.
So,
Elaine tells us she's going to roll with her
cute.
core as we get a look at the core sitting over in the tree. That was funny, wasn't it?
Yep.
Otherwise, there's just no trust.
Well, you were saying, well, what's Aaron making a face for me, and I was like, no, I think it's from what Elaine said about the core, he's...
Yeah, that came just a little bit after, though. When she went up to vote, she looked
Yeah.
his way and must have said
He
something.
made a face or something.
Well, he just shook his head no.
Oh.
And maybe it was, like you said, in response to her proclamation of rolling with the core.
Well, Elizabeth is still trying. I'm a loyal player. But, this game is also fluid. Don't forget that, people. But I'm loyal. Take me with you.
Yeah.
So I liked it that she didn't give up.
Well, I guess her words say she didn't, but she didn't have anything to work with.
No, she didn't, but I believe she tried.
Maybe.
So good enough.
Okay, they go vote. Now it's time to reveal hidden immunity idols if anybody wants to play one. And Dean plays his own
Advantage.
fake advantage and is told, yes, indeed, it is fake. And so he gets his psych moment. So if the legacy one that Jamal had gifted him was real, he had cover now.
That's right.
Where he could play, where it could be active again at 9. So he's got to
Yep.
wait, somehow make it some more tribal councils before it would have its power if it does.
Then the laugh would be on him.
Karishma
plays her idol.
Yeah, she decides she's not going to take a chance, and
For
she goes
herself.
ahead and plays.
Were you surprised that Lauren played hers?
Yes. Yep.
I was so shocked.
Not as surprised as Dan and Noura were when Karishma played hers, but I was surprised when Lauren did, and then I thought, yeah, I'd do that too. I would absolutely not take a chance after I saw Karishma do that.
Oh, wow. Well, and Jeff reads the votes. 7 for Karishma, 1 for Janet,
Does not count.
1 for Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So we're at a tie. And at that point I wrote, Elizabeth is out.
You were just sure. Yeah, it did seem likely that was going to be the case.
They did the second vote, and sure enough, Elizabeth was out.
Yeah, all right. Full points for me.
It was I had her safe. I thought, why did I do that? I am so stupid.
Just wanted to get you to go there
After a
again.
2-point week last week, 2 points is all I got last week.
We even made an improvement.
I know. I got
You're
3 this week.
Yeah, you should be
Woo.
happy.
All right.
That's progress.
Yeah. I should also poke you in the rib. Yeah, I don't care. You're 2 points ahead of me, but I was 2 points ahead of you for most of the season. so.
Huh? Well, and that's what
But
matters the most,
you caught
right? In the
up
beginning.
And then you passed me. So, oh well. I'll pass you again in the finale.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, that doesn't usually work for me, but every once in a while it does.
All right. Elizabeth is indeed out, and she goes to join her court alliance.
And Sandra tells us, and then there were 8.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What's your overall assessment? Did you enjoy this one?
I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, even though it didn't go my way at all, but I still enjoyed it. So, that's positive enough for me.
Who do you think's doing the best right now?
Lauren.
Yeah, she's impressing you more than anyone,
Yeah.
given what we're seeing.
Yep.
The way
pretty
this played
much.
out, and Tommy was certainly a great wingman there, helping to convince the others
Yeah,
to eat.
Yeah.
So
Though,
they're all probably texting back and forth tonight, going, "You dog, you dog."
yeah, especially Janet.
Yes,
Tom,
you too.
you convinced me to eat,
Yeah.
knowing I could be in danger. I can't believe he did that.
Well, I
to
hope
me.
they show where those votes came from.
The
did,
first
did
ones?
Karishma vote for Elizabeth, or did she vote for Janet?
Karishma would have voted for Janet.
Yeah, you don't think she would have
Don't
voted
you
for
think?
Elizabeth?
No, because didn't Dan tell her to vote Janet?
At one point, sure.
Yeah.
That's in a big, long sequence of things that happen before they go to tribal. But yeah.
Well, I don't know. But we'll have to check and see if the video's out. But I assumed that Karishma voted for Janet.
And then they just held one vote back for Elizabeth,
Well,
just
I guess-
in case Karishma did
I guess
something.
Elizabeth could have voted Janet, and Karishma could have voted Elizabeth,
Yeah,
and everybody else voted.
voted Karishma
But
on Nora's great advice. You got to be
yep,
kicking
she doesn't
yourself.
have an idol.
I guarantee it. Searched her bag.
She must. She could have had it in her pocket.
So that's it. There are no active idols or advantages. Lauren did an immediate turn on hers.
Well,
So
no
that's
real
gone.
ones. I mean, Dean still thinks he has
Right.
one,
But
but no real ones. No.
yeah, so we'll be looking to see who goes out and hunts for
finds
a
the
hidden
new
immunity
idol.
idol. Yeah.
Yeah, you betcha. That's going to be a big idol hunt, I bet, next week. And Noura tells us next on Survivor, I'm honest and loyal to a fault. And
Okay.
and Karishma said, that's exactly what we wanted. And she's talking to Noura. She said,
And Elaine. Elaine was
and
there
Elaine,
too. Yeah.
this is the break I've been waiting for.
Which is basically what she said at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. And Elaine said, Nora's such a Fruit Loop.
I could have said that same line. I love
And,
that. That was good.
Jeff tells us it's time for some love. Family visit week.
Yeah, family visit next week.
All right. Elizabeth said she gave it her all. She had 30 good days, so
As far as
I guess
she's
she's
concerned, that
happy
was
enough.
gold.
Well, alrighty then.
Yeah, if you say so.
So, I guess the main people, everybody that I didn't want to win, everybody but Dan's out.
Yeah. So you're happy about that?
Could live with most of the others, but I wouldn't want to see Noura win.
No.
But that wouldn't be satisfying. But she has played
Again. If she's there
in
with
challenges
Dean
very
and
well.
Karishma, she might pull something out.
Yeah,
They might surprise us.
Yeah.
Because
So
there's definitely going to be a not Karishma vote, and there very well could be a not Dean vote.
yeah, I really wouldn't want to see Noura, Karishma, or Dan, and preferably not Dean. But I'm good with Tommy, Janet, Lauren, or Elaine.
Okay.
If I had my druthers.
Yeah.
So you agree with that? Is that what you're saying?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, that'd be...
Yeah.
Any of those right now at this point seems fine. Janet's still got some work to do.
Yeah, she does.
She needs to, be able to deliver a better case for herself. And you can tell that probably Aaron and Missy are going to come really hard at Elaine if she's there. But I think that would actually only work to her advantage. So that question about are Aaron and Missy potentially going to be bitter jurors if Elaine's there? Oh yeah, I get the sense that's going to be the case.
So,
And Elizabeth will probably just fall in line with them.
And Elizabeth did not get Elaine the way Missy told her to.
No, she got.
Yeah, well, that wasn't fair anyway. It's like, yeah, where does she have to go there, Missy?
Yeah.
But
Just wishful thinking on her
I still
part.
don't know who people's core alliances are. I really don't.
I think Lauren and Tommy are
Except for those two, yes.
tied at the hip, given what we've
Yeah.
seen right now.
But
and
who else?
That bond. Well, Janet's there via Tommy, and I think Lauren.
Is she? You see her with Dan and Dean.
Yeah.
And
But she's got a connection there with Tommy still. It's just not as strong as the Lauren connection. And you're never going to know what Noura's thinking. You're never
No.
going to know what she's going to do. And she's won 2 immunities in a row, so they're going to be thinking about getting rid of her for sure, because you don't want wackadoodle Fruit Loop Noura winding up at the end.
Well, she's probably
She's the biggest threat based on winning immunity idols.
yeah. Next to Tommy, she absolutely is.
Well, yeah. Well, he hasn't won them the way she has either, so I would say he's not even in her class. Matter of fact, Janet didn't even consider him when thinking about the big threat. So,
Well, they might. I just think that I think most of them think Tommy's with them.
yeah.
But if
to
they find out
to
he's
his credit,
not,
yeah.
That could hurt him a lot, because I think the boys think he's with them, and I think Janet thinks he's with them.
Elaine's certainly been there for him and helping protect him
So,
in that vote against Missy. So there's
And-
the Lauren connection of Tommy, Elaine connection, somewhat still of the Janet. I mean, it got stressed when they were
Yeah.
apart in different tribes and stuff, but
and yet nobody, I really couldn't trust and don't know who Noura and Karishma really trust or consider. I don't think Karishma thinks she has any alliance, really. Though she seems a little more confident, but that could go away quickly. She knows she's still a target after this week.
yeah, not having Aaron and Missy and Elizabeth pressing down on her and telling her that she's got to be the fake target in tribal councils anymore, it's got to be a huge relief for her. So without that constant pressure from them and the negativity coming in tribal council where they use it as the fake out for the blindside vote, none of that'd be fun, having to listen to Missy berate you or
No, but Karishma knows now after this week. She had 7 of the 9 votes.
Yes.
So she knows
Yeah.
now, for sure.
I think she's
They're
known for a
still
long time.
out for her.
How this is again, I often think about this, and because we've seen it happen to people before, and it can be overwhelming when you get out there and you find out you're not what you thought you were. And she is on that journey for sure. And she seems to have enough self-awareness to have acknowledged that, because we see some people go into denial immediately.
I really want Karishma to tell Noura that she found the idol when she sent her out to get coconuts.
Yeah, that would be a good moment, wouldn't it?
I would love that.
Yep.
It's like,
that would be good. Right. I really just want to thank you, Noura, because if you hadn't lit that fire under me, I wouldn't have been able to save myself. Yeah, that would be great.
Now, is she going to go back out there on her own to look for another?
Well, this is the test. Is she going to do it or not?
If she wants to stay, she will.
Yeah. I'm not convinced that she's on the redemption side of her arc at all. Mm-mm. She was given an opportunity, and hey, she played it, and she saved herself. Good job.
That might be enough.
Good job on what you were able to accomplish through this point, through day 30.
And you did the challenge when you could have eaten.
Okay, yeah.
I think it would have probably been smarter just to eat.
Yes, especially if she does seem to have the
could.
Diminished capacity that she does.
So why not fortify yourself for the next challenge if you really kind of know you're not going to beat either of those two women?
You could have viewed it as working to your advantage by being eager to go eat, because it would draw the fire.
Much I wanted to stay,
y'all. Yeah, that just doesn't. It doesn't work though.
I want to stay. I know, that's why I think she'd been
go out of things that quick. Yeah, and it would have worked even more to the point of saying, her being able to draw the target and being able to change the game by playing her idol.
Yep, I agree.
So she didn't accomplish all her goals. She didn't necessarily take control, but she dodged a bullet. Now you could say Lauren wasted hers, but I can't see. And given what we've seen with people going home, even the big goof that Kelly made with idols, we've seen 4 idols pocketed as the people went out of the game this season. Yep. So I'm solid on Lauren's choice.
Though she didn't know that.
Surprise for Tommy, I'm sure, a little bit, because he didn't think it was going to go that quick. But they only had this in the next tribal council to use it anyway, and she had it. It was hers. It wasn't his. So come time, she played it, and she said, I'm going to be here 3 more days, 2 more days, whatever the next cycle is. I can't blame her for that.
No, neither can I. And though I had thought Lauren may not have a chance because, for a while she kind of disappeared a little bit, and we didn't see much of her strategy, but it certainly showed up this week. Right,
and it showed up in droves, right? Mm-hmm. Because she got to demonstrate her assessment of the remaining players.
She did pretty darn good with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yes, she was given ammunition to manipulate, but she did it beautifully with Tommy's help.
Yep, took advantage of it. And she had a good wingman. All that's good on her.
But, people know if she ended up at the final 2 with Tommy, would people see that, or would they believe?
Yeah, it's not. That's one of the hard things to try to suss out when you go into the finale is because what is their true perception in the game versus the perception we have.
Exactly. Because she doesn't appear strong in challenges. They could say, oh, Tommy's carried her. Tommy had friends. Tommy did that. Tommy's carried her. And he may have at times, but she's carried him too, obviously. So.
Yeah, it seems like we've seen more of the latter with her carrying him.
Yeah. But, like you said, we don't know what they perceive during the game.
Yep.
No clue, obviously.
Well, you don't see Elaine going to Lauren. You see Elaine going to Tommy. So, like we were talking about earlier, it's a lot of people going to him.
Yeah, I don't know if Elaine even likes Lauren.
His social game.
We don't really know. We see her. She seems fine with Dan. And
Elaine and Lauren have done okay at perceiving who the threats were. And so you could see why they would end up scoping in on each other there, just like what happened before. So
yeah, I'm not unhappy with my 5-point USB.
Yeah, she's still got potential. I mean, that's the trick, is that.
And I still really like her.
Yeah, that busted can of biscuits is still making us laugh. Come
Yep.
the merge, it's usually about who can manage the middle.
So who will they target next? You got to think they're going to look at Noura.
Oh, the first opportunity, yes, in terms of a threat, absolutely.
But
And
maybe they're wanting
it's
Noura.
not like the target goes off Karishma's back. This message was very loud, very clear.
But at what point do they think, okay, now it's time for Noura? Do they use Noura to help them get out Dean or Tommy or Dan, or what are they going to use Noura for, and who's going to want to use her?
I'd say get that element out of the game. You can't count on it.
True.
As soon as she loses, gone.
We see
And
that.
you get to see Karishma slide by again.
And Elaine does tell us she's a Fruit Loop.
Yeah.
So she's definitely aware that, though Elaine was looking at both of them like they were like, what?
Yeah.
What?
How about a JSFL update?
I can do that. Dina is still in first place with 45 points. There are 24 people who lost their USB. 82 people lost a safe point, me. And 117 people gained a vote off point.
Yeah, it's that listener
Including
feedback
you.
show. Yep. Made
All
that all
right.
clear this week.
Okay. Well, I don't listen well, I guess. Does not listen. Okay, side challengers with 43 points tied for first, Justin and Randy. With 41 points, Stacy. With 40 points, we've got Cold Mike, Jonathan, and Rebecca. With 39 points, Carolyn, Jake Kindred, Jeremiah, and Slappy.
Somebody slipped.
Don't brag. 38 points, Brandon, Carl, Jack, and Parker. With 36 points, we have Chris and Drew. And with 35 points, James and Shannon.
Oh, they do good songs, so I'm really looking forward to that.
It's nowhere near over yet.
No?
No.
You don't want to go ahead and call it? Okay.
No. We've only got 2 more episodes before the finale.
Yeah, is that right? 2 more?
Yeah. 2 more weekly episodes and then the finale night. And that
We
is
are at
a
the end
wrap.
of November, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as we know, it doesn't matter what anybody's score is right now because there's so many points available in the finale night. Just 50 points over. Nobody's even to 50 points yet, and there's 50 points that'll be available on just the top 4.
Yep.
So, hey, not to mention the USBs and all that stuff.
That's right.
So, it's still anybody's game. Do not give up no matter what your score is.
I don't know.
Because
There's some
as we
people-
know, things can happen.
That's true. That's true. But nobody will fault you if you want to fold your cards at this point.
Oh, shut up.
Walk
I
away.
will. Nobody in the side challenge is allowed to do that. So, okay. I thought there is, let's see, if Dan wins this thing, there's 2 people that would get USB points. And if Karishma won 3, there's still people out there with not the popular USBs. So you never know who's going to win
Yeah, the
and
season-
what points are available.
This season could absolutely take a turn.
Just don't
It
know.
certainly has so far. So,
That wouldn't be my choice for either one of those, but
this season's going to be forever tainted. Unfortunately, that's just the reality. But there are very likely some surprises in store for us coming forward too, because that's kind of been the hallmark of what we've had up to this point.
yep. Sounds good to me.
Okay.
I still look forward to it every week, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It doesn't change the fact that, like I said, it's joined a couple other seasons and being severely tainted in Survivor history.
True.
But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it in the moment. That's true. And you and I had a good time watching tonight.
You know how quickly I can forget.
That's true. Well, we're looking forward to hearing what you thought about the events of Week 10 and where you think that may be taking us next. The voicemail line 206-350-1547, toll-free option 844-643-8737. We got the email at Joanne and Stacy Show at gmail.com. You can always record your own audio and send it in as an attachment, or you can write it up and either Joanna or I will read it into the show for you. That feedback is due Saturday, noon Pacific time. We're looking for you to keep your feedback within the 3-minute boundary so that we can get everybody in there. You never know when you're going to have a show with 36, 40 super fans showing up wanting to talk about things. Yeah. And we've had some great listener feedback shows this season. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts about this week. Do you have another note?
I just wanted to wish everyone who celebrates Thanksgiving a very happy Thanksgiving.
Sure.
And
our house is already full of Thanksgiving food smells. You've already been hard at work cooking.
Not enough. I decided to sleep in, so I'm not as far along as I would like to be. But what I have cooked so far is
It's been nice
delicious.
when we're sitting here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Looking forward to more.
You'll get more, honey. Don't
More's
worry.
better. Too much is about
You're going to eat
enough.
on it for a week.
Yeah,
while I'm
that's
cooking.
fine.
I know you like to do that.
Yeah.
So. All right.
Turkey becomes turkey sandwiches, becomes turkey pot pie. This is the progression
There you
right
go.
there. That's a win.
Yep, and we know you can eat dressing 3 times a day.
It's good for breakfast. All right. Have a good one.